So as part of my Ultra Magnus team, I really was not 100% sure that I liked what I ended up getting with Siege Springer. I mean, Siege Springer is fantastic as a figure, don't get me wrong, but it had some shortcomings, and everybody loves Generation Springer, so I was like, you know what, why not, let's also get that. So here we are with Takara Tomi's version of Springer from the Transformers Generations line. Now this is an unboxing video and a first look video for myself as well. Essentially what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying out and seeing if this has an intuitive transformation. Also, let me tell you why I decided to get it. It's not super clear in the packages, but the thing is, this triple changer boasts an actual helicopter and car mode. So it's not half-baked, so that's the reason I decided to get this. So let's go ahead and take it out of the packaging. I'm not going to be taking a look at the instructions because I'm going to try first and see if it has an intuitive transformation. But I will, you know, with the caveat that it is a triple changer, so there might be some level of difficulty getting to one or two of the modes. Now, okay, so here we are. We have Springer in his robot mode, as well as a gun, which looks like it can actually launch. Oh, it can. And a sword. Okay, so I feel, I see. Okay, so this sword transforms as well into helicopter blades. Wow, that is ingenious. That is next level. Okay, so, but I got way ahead of myself there. Let's go back and transform it. I wish the Siege version did something like this, although the twin blades was also nice. Okay, so let's take a look. So obviously he takes a little, it's a very modern take on Springer. It's not, you know, exactly like the Siege. The Siege version is very different, but I like what I'm seeing. I like that it's mostly solid plastic, it looks like, and just a little bit of paint applications, a little bit of green here, a little bit of silver here, and they all look pretty well color matched. I like what I'm seeing. I like the subdued green too. It's not like a bright green. So that works for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to see if I can transform him into one of his modes here. Now, okay, so this slides down. I have figured out that much. Okay. So that was relatively easy. Okay, so I'm flipping stuff around. This feels, so far, really intuitive. Like, I can tell where stuff is supposed to go. Very, very different from Siege Springer, which, to this day, I'm not 100% sure I got the transformation down. Okay, let's see. So that is supposed to... okay, I'm supposed to hide that here. Okay, I still loving what I'm doing. The transformation still feels very effortless, which is great. But I feel like I missed something here. Did I? Okay, so actually I feel like I'm super close to getting it in car mode. Okay. So this one is supposed to open. Flip around. Okay. So far, so good. Am I doing this right? Okay, so that piece does have to be exposed. Okay. Okay, so that's as far as I went, but that's not supposed to be all there is to it. Okay, so yeah, flip that around. And I am just trying to figure out how these are supposed to go together. Ah, there you go. So it was gray plastic in the packaging, that's why it was confusing me. This is a nice big chunky like car. But it's definitely a car. I mean, not that the Siege one wasn't a car. It definitely was. Okay, so just have everything together. Have everything together. Ah, okay. The preference is for those to be on the side. Got it, got it. Okay, so these are supposed to tab together as well. And there you have it. Okay, so that's car mode. That looks nice. Like it's a big chunky car. I love it. It's really cool. Wait, what class is this? I'm guessing it's Voyager. It does not say if it's a Voyager class figure, but I'm guessing it is. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. That looks amazing. It's just that these things do need to be held in place, but okay. And this goes on top of here, and there you have it. So it's a weaponized car. Now this tends to flop, but not by much. So it's transformed properly, so I don't have much complaints. It's definitely a car. Right off the bat, I can tell you that he does not work with, he does not go inside Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, but let's see how he looks on top of the trailer. Looks kind of okay, it's just that he doesn't like 100% land the wheels, but he still kind of does. I mean, he looks okay. Now let's try to see how he looks with Siege Ultra Magnus. That works great. That works fine. That looks okay to me. Okay, so here we have Generations Springer and Siege Springer. You know what they say, that in a triple changer, it's always that one mode will suffer because of, you know, the fact that they're sacrificing a lot of engineering stuff in order to make it work. Well, that's the thing. I feel like Siege Springer suffers in both modes. This is a weird, alt mode for a car. It's this back section is recessed. I don't, I can't 100% say this is a car. I feel like it looks like it's going to be something else moving forward. But yeah, this particular mode, however, I mean, take a look at it. It's unmistakably a car. There's no making mistake that this is definitely a car. This one, I understand that it's Cybertronian and everything, but at the same time, it's hard to say it's a car other than the fact that it has wheels. I like this though. I very much still like this. Especially because of the bot mode. But I would say that this wins in terms of achieving its car mode. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to attempt to transform it into helicopter mode. Okay, so I was able to achieve its car mode with relative ease. The thing is, the helicopter mode there is hidden, so I can't 100% see what that looks like, and there's not really any other image of it here, so I'm gonna have to resort to looking at just this portion of the instructions, only to see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. Okay, so it feels like, okay, so from my understanding, I have to untab these. That's what it looks like. Okay. And these are supposed to turn around somehow. This is meant to hide. Oh, brilliant. So you hide the wheels. That's what I was looking for with Siege Springer. Something to hide the wheels. Make it not look so obvious that it's, this is a car helicopter. That's the vibe I'm getting from Siege Springer, to be honest. Okay. Alright, let's... Not 100% sure if I'm supposed to be doing that, but okay. I'm gonna turn this around. Okay. There you go. It looks fairly well hidden still. I'm going to take these out. Ah! That's brilliant. Okay, needs a little clearance. Why can't the Siege version have done something like this? I mean, I understand it's a different toy, it's a different team and everything, but this feels very, still very intuitive. Let's do these tab together. Oh, they already did. They just did. Okay, and then same thing. I feel like I'm almost done. Okay, so is that landing gear? It is landing gear. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure where these are supposed to go because I can barely see. Oh, okay. I think that might be it. Oh no. Oh, I'm supposed to bring these to the side. Oh, okay. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. And then tab them here. And these just kind of hang loose, which is fine. Oh, you don't. Oh, you're supposed to bring them forward. Okay. Alright, cool. Oh, wait. The instructions don't do that, but I feel like they look nicer that way. So, okay. I'll just leave them like that. Okay. Oh, that's definitely a helicopter, unmistakably. Okay, so I'm going to transform this again. love transforming this the first time. Okay, so okay, so that kind of allows you to form a proper helicopter. Okay, and dab that into place here, and there you have it. That's an actual helicopter right there. Man, that looks really, really nice. So that is unmistakably a helicopter. I mean, you know, the parts are hidden well enough so that you don't mistake it for anything else. And I appreciate that so much. Okay, so I can either have it like this, or I kind of like it being a little forward. Just so it's, you know, different from car mode. This is nice. I like it. I really, really do. I dropped. So let's go ahead and take a look at it with Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. And wow, it's even raised a bit. So that's nice. Okay, so it's, you need to position it a certain way, but I like the fact that it's elevated. Now let's try Siege Ultra Magnus. Now again, in case you're wondering why I'm trying it with Ultra Magnus, it's because my whole collection of the Transformers centers on Ultra Magnus. Okay, so if I use Siege, it tends to dip. Okay, there. So you can actually, you can latch it onto certain places, like that spot over there, and there's a couple of peg holes over there that will allow you to peg them nicely into place. And that works. That works. I feel like the helicopter, though, is a little loose in terms of what it can, in terms of keeping transformed, rather. But otherwise, I still like it. Okay, so let's take a look at the helicopter mode right beside the Siege helicopter mode. And here we have Generation Springer and Siege Springer. Now again, same thing. The alt mode suffers from looking like it came from a car and it was turned into a helicopter, but this one looks like an actual helicopter from pretty much any angle. And I love it. I love that. It's maybe my one complaint, and it's probably because I'm not 100% doing this correctly, is that it tends to tab off on its own in places. And again, that's probably because I haven't transformed it correctly. But this one, this feels like I can transform it right out of the box, which I just did. But this one, like, I've owned this for a while, but I still don't think I've gotten the transformation down yet, which, to me, that's a little bit of an annoyance. I love this figure, don't get me wrong. I feel like it's very G1-esque, and it's a good representation of animated Springer, well, animated 80s Springer. But this one feels like a legit helicopter. Like, it's sure, it's a cyber helicopter of some sort. It's not like a common helicopter, but it's unmistakably a helicopter. But this one, I like it primarily for the fact that it looks G1-esque, and it looks great in robot form. A lot like the animated representation. So let's go ahead and try to transform it back into its robot mode. I'm going to bring in, okay, so we're going to bring in the packaging again, because I'd like to be able to make sure I'm doing this right to some level. Okay, so there's heels. Okay, so those... Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the legs. That was easy. And then bring these around. So it looks like it's a lot easier to transform from helicopter mode to robot mode. Okay, wow, I'm pretty much done. This is fun. Okay, so bring that down. I feel like I'm doing something wrong with the head, which is why it's not, why it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. It's stuck. I feel like that's the one thing I'm gonna need to study, the headpiece. Okay, that's the only difficulty I'm having, like making the head move properly. So bring this back up, bring this back up, this whole back section. Bring that up here and tab these together. And voila! I have robot mode. I really like this robot mode. It's a little tall and spindly, but he works. Like he really does look very different from his. It's a true transformation. Feels like it's, you know, he really did transform from car mode to bot mode, and you can see parts, but you can't. It's not like it's, you know, a robot that just stood up. It's a definite transformation, and it's a really how do you put this? It's an intuitive transformation as well. So I really like that about him, and I like these knee pad thingies, these sharp knee pad thingies, and the articulation is pretty nice. There's limited articulation in the waist, but that's mainly due to the fact, okay, the head really likes to pop off, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, so that's the thing. If I wanted to butterfly this joint, the chest will come off. But it's fine, that still works. It's got a pretty wide range of movement. Not the most stable, but I think I can use these fins to help stabilize. There you go. That works. That really works. So next we're gonna have Generation Springer. Next to, I'm gonna tab that in just so he's prim and proper. Okay, Generation Springer next to his Siege counterpart. So as you can see, the Siege version is a little shorter, and but it's a lot closer to the animation model. This particular version takes a lot of liberties. Basically, it's they went with, okay, throw the color scheme in there, give him a helicopter and car mode, and see how it works best, and that's what they did. It's not 100% Springer. I mean, some of the details are still there, like for example these flaps, although they're not coming up front. The helmet is very much Springer, but pretty much everything else is a unique take. But if you want something that's closer to the animation model for your bot mode, then Siege Springer is your bot. And also I would like to point out that because this is a transforming piece, so you get a clean, you know, one sword and one gun type of thing going. But because of Springer's multi-transform thing, you have other pieces here. So you have the helicopter blades, which turn into two swords instead of transforming into one, and two guns. Now these guns can also transform and combine rather into one particular gun. You can extend it even further with this piece, and there you have a long gun. So that's the thing with this particular Springer, is that it's loaded with weaponry. You can tab the sword here. By the way, you may notice that there's a silver overspray on my Springer, and the reason for that is because I did give him a little bit of a spray to match his battle damage. You can arm him with this gun. So this particular Springer is kind of loaded with weaponry. I'm just saying. He's essentially got 4 weapons, while the Generations version has 2. But if you like your Springer to have just a, you know, limited amount of weapons, which is great, like, you know, just the one gun and the one sword, then this should be okay for you. So he's of course taller than a deluxe figure, but he scales nicely with Ultra Magnus here. Now I'm going to bring in Siege Ultra Magnus. Now it's important to note that I have the DNA kit, but because of the nature of the DNA kit upgrades and the fact that you can still return him to his original height, I'm showing you his original height. So there you go. He scales also very nicely with Ultra Magnus, because the nature of this Ultra Magnus, he's more in armor as opposed to having like a mobile suit kind of thing going on. So that's why they're not too far in height. Final thoughts on Generation Springer. I have 0 regrets. He is excellently done. He even has a bit of a light piping. He has shooting function and everything. I don't have any regrets. Very transformable, you know, intuitively so. I have no issues whatsoever with this figure, and I feel like, also the other thing is now I can display one Springer in car mode and one Springer in helicopter mode, and I'll probably display this one in helicopter mode. Anyway, thank you so much for taking a look at this a little bit of an updated Springer review, because it's, you know, it's coming out during the time when we are coming off Earthrise and we're coming into the first wave of Kingdom. So it's this is me just showing you how Generation Springer will work with your more contemporary figures, and maybe help you decide if he's someone you'd like to get as well. Thank you for watching. This has been X Paco, and this is X's Toy Universe.